Welcome back. I'm Jill with the Carefree Kitchen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you an easy cornbread muffin recipe. These lightly sweetened, soft and tender cornbread muffins are quick, easy, and so delicious. You can serve this with everything from a simple slab of butter and honey to winter chilies and soups, or your all-time favorite barbecue recipes. Okay, so here are the ingredients that you are going to need for your cornbread muffins. Okay, we're gonna start off with some yellow cornmeal. Just about any brand is great. And then I have some all-purpose flour, some sugar, baking soda, or baking powder, baking soda, salt, an egg, and then also this is some sour cream, and this makes the most fluffy and moist cornbread muffins. And then also I have some milk here, just whatever milk you like is great. And before we get started, I'm going to preheat the oven on 350 degrees. Okay, so to get started on our cornbread muffins, I am just going to add, and let's see, there's also a printable recipe on my website if you want to check that out. It's easy to follow along there, but I'll also tell you the ingredients here. So we have 1 1/4 cup cornmeal, and then I'm going to add 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And then the next thing is 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to use a fork and mix this together. Okay, and then I'm going to make just like a little well in there. And into that, I'm going to do 1 large egg and 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of milk, and we're gonna wanna do just a little bit of sour cream, about 1/4 cup. All right, and now I'm just going to mix this up. And you don't wanna over-mix your cornbread muffins or else they'll have kind of a funky top to them or maybe a little bit tough. So what I like to do is mix it up, and then I'm actually gonna just set it aside here for a few minutes, and then it will give the milk and all the liquid a chance to soak into the cornmeal. So I'll just set that right there. And then I'm going to prepare my muffin tins. So you don't have to use muffin tin papers. You can just grease your pan, whatever is great. I don't know, it just seems like it's easier to wash the pan if we use muffin tins. So I usually use muffin tins. All right. And then before I start, I'm going to just give this a nice quick little stir and make sure we don't have any like little flour pockets in there or something that's not mixed in. And again, we don't want to beat this at all. We just want it to be just barely mixed. Now, what I like to use is just a little ice cream scoop, and this is probably 1 1/4 inches or so. And we're going to fill the muffin tins about 2/3 full. Makes it really nice and easy and uniform. And this recipe should make about 12 muffins. So if you have a little bit of extra in your bowl, you can just even it all out. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in a preheated 350 degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so while my cornbread muffins are cooking, I'm gonna show you how to make a really easy honey butter recipe. And this honey butter recipe has a couple ingredients that might be a little bit of a surprise, but it makes like super yummy, like creamy and delicious honey butter. So this is what we love to have on our cornbread muffins. All right, so I'm just gonna use my kitchen aid here, but you can use like a hand mixer or whatever you want. The first thing I'm gonna do is put 2 cubes of room temperature butter into the mixer. So 1 cup of butter into your mixer here. And then I'm just going to whip that, and I want it to be really light and fluffy. That's the secret to this honey butter recipe. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is add 1 cup of powdered sugar. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon or 2 of cinnamon, don't know, I'm gonna estimate that's probably 1.5 or so. Okay, and then I'm gonna beat this up until it's light and fluffy too. Okay, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is add about a cup of honey. And I'm just gonna estimate, this is probably about a cup I have in here. And this honey butter stores so good in the fridge. You can just put it in a cover container and then it'll be good in there for, I don't know, a couple months or so. We like to drizzle it a little bit on maybe like waffles or if you're making scones. The favorite thing is definitely these cornbread muffins though. And we're just going to whip that up some more. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna do to finish this off is I'm gonna add just a little pinch of salt and then about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we go. And then we'll just whip it up until it's light and creamy. Okay, also be sure to pull down the sides of the bowl to make sure everything is mixed in. One last whip. Okay, as you can see, these muffins are just lightly golden on top, and when you push them down, you want it to bounce back. If it leaves an indentation, then it's not done in the middle, so you want to let them cook, but those actually look perfect. All right, here are my amazing cornbread muffins. These lightly sweetened, soft and tender cornbread muffins are a quick and easy, delicious snack. You can serve them with honey butter, butter and jam, with your favorite soup, or at a summer barbecue. All right, here is my creamy, whipped, light and fluffy honey butter. This is so good, slathered on cornbread muffins. And it stores so great in the fridge too. Just put it in a covered container and it'll stay good in there for 2 or 3 months. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Carefree Kitchen. I hope you love these cornbread muffins and creamy, amazing honey butter as much as we do. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on social media. And I will show you all kinds of fun and easy recipes the entire family will love. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.